Welcome to the channel, Payne the Patoot here with a quick video. This one is on what to do August 20th or day one of the wipe patch 15. Um, right now, it's Sunday the 18th, so there's roughly 2 days left, and there's not much of Sunday left at this point that I'm recording this. So you have to determine if you're in this position what you're going to do. What are you going to do? You could continue to play PvP, but you are almost wasting time to do it. I have access to the PvE content, so I'm doing PvE right now just because that's not going to wipe and I can level up my character. So that's what I'm choosing to do. Because I don't really think it's worth putting any more effort into PvP at the moment, knowing that even if I complete a task or kill somebody and get some really good goodies, they're going to be gone in 2 days. So my point is, why bother? Maybe that's a bad way to look at it, but that is the way I'm looking at it. So, like I said, this is going to be what to do day one. So, one point that I had in some of my other videos about the wipe and stuff that I was incorrect, and I want to correct it now, which is the first tasks are actually on ground zero. I was talking about uh, the main map, customs, etc., for the first tasks. But ground zero is, I simply forgot, but ground zero is the task for the first day. We have to, if you recall, you have to go and find the grenade launcher and the machine gun in the two buildings. You need to get the wine bottle out of the wine store. You need to get the key and go up and retrieve the hard drive in the Terra building. You need to find the medical area and just find it. And there's a few other tasks. So there's all those tasks that have to be done on ground zero. So if you're not that familiar with ground zero, if you're hearing my voice right now and it's before the wipe, if you're not that familiar with ground zero, I would recommend maybe running a couple of times on ground zero, see if you can get in as a scav, just to familiarize yourself, especially with the extracts on this map. What I'll be doing on day one is I have a laptop that I keep beside my gaming PC, and I'll be pulling up Tarkov Wiki and the Ground Zero map, so I can use that if I get stuck trying to find a way to get out, i.e., the extraction points. Okay, so that's my recommendation. Last recommendation, I guess, before the wipe is to try out Ground Zero to get a little bit more familiar with it. Okay, after that, the usual setup, unless they change something, and all of this that I'm giving you now is based on what the previous wipe is like. I have no idea. Excuse me for a second. I really have no idea if they're going to change things now with patch 15. They haven't. They're pretty tight to the vest with stuff. They don't often tell us anything. So at that point, I'm keeping it consistent with what's happened before. So you pick your name for your character. Uh, if you stream on Twitch, you might want to end it by TTV. If you stream on YouTube, you might want to end your character with YT. That might get some people in game that either kill you or you kill them, and they'll follow you to get some followers. So you can do that. But otherwise, just pick something that hits the character limit or within the character limit. There is a limit on the characters. Remember that people can report your name if they find it offensive. So cut out the racial slurs or anything against the LGBT, if that's how you say it, community, because you could get reported and knocked off. Um, After that, you pick the appearance. I don't give a shit what it looks like. I just pick default. And then you pick USEC and Bear. And so right now, is there really an advantage in one over the other? Picking USEC, I pick USEC, so I'll be picking USEC. The reason for that is I like the M4 and the MP5 to start off with. But actually, the Bear's ammunition that the Bear gets is slightly better than the ammunition that the USEC gets. Can be debatable maybe that the M855 ammunition is somewhat better in a high RPM gun like the M4. So the M4's RPM is faster than the AKs that you get on the bear side, and the MP5s is faster than the Keter that you get on the bear side. The pistols are pretty well similar. What's different is the ammunition. You get M822 here, and you get PST ammunition from the bear side, and PST is better ammunition than M822. You also, in the bear side, you get PS ammo, which is roughly equivalent to the M855, but you also get some BP ammo. So that BP ammo is probably the best ammo at the start of the game. So that's something that can influence your choice of character. The guns are a bit better in USEC side. Actually the armor is a little bit better on the USEC side at the start. On the bear side. So bear side, the ammunition is better, the armor is better than the USEC side. The USEC side, the guns are better than the bear side. So that's one of the reasons I go with picking USEC. The other one is the canned phrases that your character puts out. If you're USEC, they're in English. If you're bear, they will be in Russian. Now, not too many people use them, but there is a benefit of picking bear because you can hit I think it's the F1 key, and or if you get into certain areas, you'll see a little dialog box pop up. You hit Y, like if you hit an extraction point, you can say Y, hey, we found the extraction kind of thing. But those canned phrases that you can trigger in the game, they are, like I said, English or in Russian. So people have used the phrases like if you're on a map and you run into another player, they want to know if you're friendly or not. They want to know if you're a scav or not. So they often ask you to hit F1 because that will say this phrase in Russian, so they know you're a scav. Well, if you're a PMC, if you're USEC, you can't do that. If you hit F1, they're going to hear it in English, and they're going to immediately know that you're a player and attack in most cases. So that's a little side benefit of the choosing between USEC and bear. Okay. So I will let this video go a little bit further here, and we'll go into the kit that comes. So you get an M700 and you get M80. That's not bad ammunition. The sight here for the M700 is shit. Shotgun's okay. Not the greatest, but anyways. So let me jump over here so here is the bear kit. So you'd still get the PACA here for armor, but there is further along in here there is a better piece of body armor. Rather than MP5s, you get the PP19, which has got a slightly slower rate. So there you get an M1 and this DB13. That's better armor than any of the PACA stuff. Now you do get the Trooper with the USEC, and there's another piece of body armor, only the AVST you get. So it's kind of back and forth about which is better. This sniping rifle, the SV98, is actually better, and the AK-74M is not better, but you do get BP rounds with it, and the BP rounds early on are superior to anything else in the game. Now, you only actually get 90 rounds of it, so then use that trick that I had in one of my other videos of splitting your mag, i.e. on a 30-round mag, put 20 rounds of PS in it, and then 10 of BP at the top, and that will help you out. But that is the differences between the two factions and picking them, and then after that you will just have to get into the game. So there's not much else you can do about that. You just fire it up and off you go. So as always, with at the start of the game, you want to go in and accept any tasks that are available, because tasks always will well, give you rewards, whether they be monetary or reputation or equipment. But tasks are one good way of XPing up your character. So you know that you have uh, tasks available for you to select. And again, they're going to be on ground zero, so you have to pick those ones. But the tasks for therapist, which is getting Salawas, I think is available right at the start, and you can pick up Salawas on ground zero, even if you haven't got the task to work on. You can at least collect the Salawas, and you'll have them when you get the therapist task. But you know there's a task available when you see the little green arrow. So if you click on the character and then tasks, then this is one, and you have to go in and accept it. I'm not going to accept it because I'm not going to have a chance to complete, or not going to work on that one yet. But that's what the green arrow signifies. If you see a blue arrow, that means you've completed the requirements and you can complete the task. But that's how you start off. So therapist, from what I remember, if you start off with her, she's got she may not want the Salawas right away, but what she does want is she does want or what she does want is medical supplies. So if you find any of these tourniquets, any of these splints, any bandages, anything at all, I think she wants 5 pieces of it. So you keep an eye on that on ground zero. And because you need kills of scavs, I don't think you can get kills of scav on ground zero, but until you can open up debut with Punisher, then this one here, um, you your your kills won't count, but keep an eye out for MP 133 shotguns, which is, if you're not aware, although you should be if you've played the game, this shotgun here. So you want 2 of those, and just if the task isn't available right off the bat, then keep the shotguns, try to extract with the shotguns, and you will eventually hit that task. And then these are the Salawas that you need a few of. So I think it's 3. So just keep an eye out for them. You can actually partially use them if you need to. Like this one's 240 out of 400 because I've used it a bit. I can hand that in. They'll take partially used ones, so keep that in mind. Don't completely use them if possible, because they're no good if they'll disappear from your if I use this all, it'll just disappear, so you'll lose it. But you can, if you're in a raid and you get hit and all you have are the Salawas you've collected, partially use it. And as long as it doesn't take more than 400 points of healing that is there, you'll still be able to hand it in. So keep that in mind. So that's kind of where I start off with, is accepting my tasks, getting my character set up as USEC, go to the ground zero and start doing the basic tasks you get there. So here I'll show you. Let's go Tarkov wiki. Just Googling that. Go here, and then just type in ground zero. And then ground zero. Okay. And So basically, you get a brief description of Ground Zero. Make a note that Colante and Cultus can appear on Ground Zero. I've never seen them, but you never know. And then it shows a picture of the Emercon exit. So this is the medical section you have to find, basically. And then there is Mira Ave. That one you need a flare, so typically people don't have flares or flare guns. Um, if you're doing a flare extract, typically you have to go to the area, point it up into the air, fire off the flare, and then wait, and a small thing at the bottom will appear to let you know that you can go. Otherwise, you can get shot if you go in. There's this Nakatani basement extract. Uh, typically, early on I take some money in all the time in my secure container, and I use the car extract. That's the one extract. Now, of course, if somebody else is on the map and uses it, then you're screwed. But it's the easiest one to get out in most cases. And then here is Ground Zero map. So you can use that. The Terra Group building is pretty evident when you go there. Um, it tells you the extract types here. So PMC and SCAV, both same places there, both same places. This is the car extract, same places here. So be wary, you're going to get people coming there a lot. But again, I think it's here and here for the guns. They typically, I don't see it here, but often they will paint them on. Two, what's two? It doesn't tell me what two is. Okay. But anyways, this is a good map to have up in the background when you're doing stuff, or you can go with this map. And again, this map is same thing, less sort of pictureful, but it gives you a little bit better information. And I keep this pulled up when I'm out or running on the map, so I kind of know where I'm going. And then this is here. This one's a little better because it has it's telling you what businesses are in each one of the building, and there's a couple of times they sort of tell you go to this business and you don't know where it is. Well, it'll tell you what building you have to go to. So that's a very helpful thing to have. This is just the map of the underground. There's an underground section. But these are some pictures, and yeah, it's um, actually there's a cat, so that's where you go in to pick up the key from the body of the scientist. But that's oops, that's what I do. So um, really, after that, you just go. I'm just going to show you woods here for a minute. So one of the things is you need the Salawas or Salewas. So on this map, where I go for the Salewas is going to be this is the woods, sorry, the sawmill. You have to watch out for Struman. He's the big baddie there. Um, so the medical compound is here. And in the medical compound, this is where I go for Selawas early on in the match. You have to watch out for scavs. You definitely have to watch out for other people because everybody heads there. But there is a lot of medical supplies in this area. Um, other than that, over here in the village, there is sometimes random Selawas, so that's another place that I go. But yeah, there isn't. You can find Selawas or Salewas anywhere, so you just go. Um, you go around to the various areas. The one thing to watch out for is the radio tower up here and the scav bunker. because the goon squad will spawn in that area, and they're very aggressive. And early on, you're not going to have the weapons to be able to take them down very easily. You can, because they don't actually, even though they got a lot of hit points in their heads, they don't wear helmets, so you can ping them in the head if you get a chance. It's better to actually try to deal with them in the from range, although you have to watch out for Bird Eye because he is a sniper. So yes, that's one of the things that I will do first of all. So basically, when I get going, sorry, here, give me a second. I go in, set up my character, turn on all the tasks that I can, start playing on ground zero, and see where I can go. Always take a backpack because there's lots of goodies. You either need them for hideout or tasks or whatever, but other than that, they're a source of money. So you always want to be able to go out with a lot of money, or potentially stuff you can sell for a lot of money. So you do that. But yeah, it's um, it's important to take a backpack. I usually take a rig with as many pockets. Now, at the start of the game, you don't have much in the way of rigs and stuff and backpacks, so I just take whatever I have. But so if I go to my character, let's go to the traders. So let's go to level 1. So this is what will be available to you at the very start of the game. This is level 1 stuff that is available for sale. So I'll be playing USAC, so I'll get an M4. That's great. You can buy, well, early on you can't buy any mags for M4s, so be careful with how many mags you take into a raid. The AUG A1 is still fine early on in the game, but you can't get any mags for that either. So that's one of the things I try to pick up is mags, because early on you don't have the ability to purchase decent sized mags for any of the guns you may want to use. Like here, the best you can get here is a 20 round mag. Well, I want the 30s if possible for my M4s. What you can get, however, is MP9s or MP5 magazines, and you can get it'll be on a different trader. Let's see if it's him. Yeah, so the green tracer rounds are not the greatest, but that's probably about the best you can get from another trader. If I go to level 1, there really isn't any 9mm ammo. If I go to level 1 here, there's stuff for the Keter, but there's nothing for the MP5. Yeah, go to level 1 here. Again, there's not much. You can see that I'm going through this. So one of the things I've tried to say before is level 1, you don't get access to very good ammunition. So the PRS ammo for an AK is not very good. So that is the only 9mm you can purchase, really, other than the green ones. And the green ones you can get off Mechanic are better than this, but PSO should be POS, piece of shit. So the ammunition is not very good. But what I do to start the game is I'm given a couple of MP5s, and I buy a bunch of 30 round mags because I'll use the M822 ammunition. That's the ammunition you're given at the start of the game. It's not the greatest, but it's what you got a lot of. So early on, you can buy these mags because you get 10 round mags or something with the MP5. There it is, 20 round mags. I'd rather have a 30. So I take an MP5 into the game, and even because I'll start the game with some USD, I'll often buy a couple more MP5s and these 30 round mags. and then I'll buy some GT ammo. I wish I could get that Luger stuff, but I buy a bunch of this and go into the game, and that's how I start. So I'm usually using, you can get the PSO here as well at level 1. It'd almost be better if you do get a pump shotgun. It'd be nicer if you could get an MP153, an semi-auto, because the express buckshot and the grizzly buckshot is very effective early on in the game. The auto shotgun, semi-auto shotguns like this guy here, and well, let's go up to the max so I can show them to you properly. Oh, sorry. There we go. So if I get a chance at a semi-auto like the MP153 or the MP155, I will take them out for sure. Even if they're somewhat damaged, I'll take them, and I'll look for them being sold by the fence, because the shotguns early on. Oh, what's this? 235. Sorry, distracted there. I was gonna maybe buy this gun because it comes with quite a bit of stuff on it. Yeah, got no space for it. Because it comes with quite a bit of stuff on it, so I would really just have to go back to the flea. No, traders. It'll be gone, I bet. I bet you big money it's gone. Yes, it is. Well, that guy's full. What about this guy? Oh. No, I was talking about here. There we go. There's a good sniping rifle, and yes. I always come back here and see if there's a gun. Early on in the game, if you're tight for getting a good gun, you can come and buy them from Fence. They're horribly overpriced, and you notice that the durability is shit, so this gun is probably going to jam. But you can fairly early on start buying just the receivers for guns, and you can repair them that way. So I'm just looking to see when the first, I don't see any receivers. Well, see, there's a SIG receiver. So if you got a heavily damaged SIG, you can buy so this is a SIG here. You can buy this part, and if it's heavily durability is low, you can fix the durability. Here you have an 8R, you can fix the 8R's durability. And I'm having a look here to see. No, I don't see anything here. So you typically then have to get up to a couple of level 2 or level 3 before you start seeing the pieces that will make meaningful repairs to your guns. But yeah, so that's typically it. What I often do too, because I have this size of gamma case, which is bigger than most other people, and you get a grizzly at the start of the game. So I will throw a grizzly. Yeah, so right now I'm sort of discussing my loadout. Sorry for going all over here, but my loadout at the start is a backpack, the biggest I have. Of course, you need a body armor. I start off using a helmet because early on, people are targeting your head consistently. I will put a grizzly in, which takes 4 spaces, but it does virtually everything. The healing, you don't have to carry bandages, whatever, and having it in here keeps it from being lost. Typically, if you don't want to use a grizzly, then put the pouch. It's a combination of medical supplies and ammunition. I keep no ammunition on my character early on because ammunition is so critical in the game. And meds, you have to go back to what can you buy from therapist first, level 1. So you can buy car kits to help you out. You can buy tourniquets. You can buy the cheese. So you can buy bandages. So those items aren't critical enough to really have to put them into your pouch. But I usually start off because I'm given a grizzly. I put a grizzly in here, and I also will put in a splint. If I have the roll, I'll start off with the roll. Otherwise, I'll use the individual splint, and I carry 2 of them because your legs get blown up pretty consistently early on. So that's my early loadout. It's a grizzly and splint, and my ammo all goes in. You won't have a surgery kit up front or ejectors, so I put my ammo in. I don't think I got one here handy. I was gonna say I show you putting in a grizzly. Nope. There. Okay. So that goes in like that, and then usually you're given splint, so I take a splint and I put a splint in, and then the rest is all ammunition. Because ammunition is critical early on, and good meds are tough to get early on. But the grizzly, you can go a long time without needing any other meds. Well, if we look at it, necessary to provide medical care attention, so it will removes concussion, removes radiation, removes fractures. So you can even get away without the splints. Stops heavy bleeding, stops light bleeding, and that's how much it consumes every time you use it. But start off using the grizzly and your ammunition, and that's what I run with. So I run with a minimum of mags as well, because you can't really afford to get rid of the mag or lose the mags. So, you know, yeah, this is kind of, I would pull that out of there. Grenades, I would keep with. If you got grenades, take them and start throwing them. They'll help you out more. But so I would go with a gun, whatever, a couple of mags, a rig or armored rig or a body armor and a tack rig, some kind of backpack, and then in my pouch it's the grizzly plus all my ammunition that I need in there. I might actually throw that in just to speed the process of healing, because but I do want to leave a couple of spaces in my pouch. But that's it. That's my initial loadout. So I think I got an MP5 here. Uh, I don't have any space to show it to you. But it's basically, if I go to trading and Peacekeeper, I grab the 30 round mag for the gun. I sell off all the small mags, the 20 round mags or whatever, and just immediately buy 30 round mags of Peacekeeper, because you get US dollars to start the game, and you need to start spending with Peacekeeper because he's, I think, the first trader that you can actually level up to level 2 from level 1. So if you go to level 2, you get access to bigger mags, better mags. You can finally buy 30 round mags for the M4. You can get some proper scopes, some suppressors, and at level 2 it adds some more guns to the mix. You need US dollars, but yeah, you get a chance to have much more guns. There is a task called Stirrup that you have, and you need pistol kills. So this does allow you to access 45 caliber pistols, which can be helpful because you can buy also you can buy the actual M882 ammunition, but you can also get FMJ ACP for the 45s. And what you really need to do is be able to buy magazines, because if that for that stirrup task, you need to kill players with a pistol. And that's always, I always do that on factory. I've done a video on that, but it helps out. So yes, I sell off all the short magazines for the MP5, and I buy. Oops, is it here? Oh, so I sell off the shorty magazines for the MP5, and and like this one, you get a bunch of these at the start. So I empty them from bullets, and then sell them all, and then buy this replacement. And then at the start of the wipe, I run an MP5 for a while. Um, just until I'm done with it. I burn through all my USD at the start, buying MP5s, buying MP5 magazines, and if I can get any ammunition for the MP5, I buy that. So I'm running with an MP5. It's pretty effective actually early on. Even the M882 rounds are okay early on. They're not the best, but they're better than nothing because nobody's got really good armor at that point, so you get a good chance. But yeah, so that's it. So I run a grizzly, some ammo in my pouch, minimum magazines, which means you have to swap them out a bit. I run with an MP5 and two MP5 magazines, and that's how I roll. I got a helmet and ears as well. So off you go. What I do though with my backpack is one of the things I always pick up is magazines off either scavs or other players that I kill. And I just grab them and run. If possible, I unload them because ammunition is very critical early on. As I showed at level 1, there's no 7.62 ammunition here that I can even buy. So there's only this really crappy 7.62, which is SP. It's better than nothing, but yeah, it'd be nice to have PS or PP. You don't get that until later on. So um, the better the bot you're running into, the better the AI you're running into, the better ammunition they'll have. So if you ever manage to bring down a rogue or anything like that, I always grab the mags and come out with them because even with the mags early on, um, you do get the mags for the 545 39 AKs, but you can't buy the 7.62 by 39 mags at all. Um, so you can only trade for them. And you need 4 pliers to do that. Until you get the flea unlocked at 15, you can't get the pliers. So you have no mags you can buy for an AK. So if I kill a player that's got an AK, even if it's the 366 AK, I will yeah, the where is it? There, the 366. The mags, I pull the mags. Now these are 10 round mags, but they're better than nothing. And a lot of times early on, that's all you're going to get access to. So I always pull the mags off any gun that I get because you're probably going to need them and you won't be able to buy mags regularly until you get your traders bumped up significantly. So keep the mags for the mags themselves, but also keep the mags so that you have them. Basically, you want mags to be able to use them, and the bigger the mags, the better the mags. So you go in and you find some scav running around with a low end, shitty, broken down AK, but he's got a 30 rounder in it. So you want to grab that. So that's the other thing that I do. Um, always grab the mags off the guns. Uh, you know, take the guns out early on. You may need them, even if they're low durability. Uh, if they're a gun that you can flip to single shot, use it single shot. You won't jam. You don't regularly. You won't jam single shot. You'll only jam full auto, and um, that's something you have to be careful of with the MP5. If you're putting a lot of rounds through it, it could jam. but that's you just have to be careful. So I think day one, yeah, open the tasks up, look for the check marks with the traders. You're going to have to do ground zero, but once you do get ground zero done, then off you go. The other thing I would say about day one is um, I've heard people say just avoid the game totally because early on the wait times to get into a raid are longer and some maps are busier. So I can't wait. Sorry. But what I do is, you got to go into ground zero. Uh, don't be afraid to go in at night because nobody's going to have night vision that early on. Nobody's going to have infrared. So, um, worst case, if you can find a flashlight, throw it on your gun and go in with a flashlight. That'll help you out. But there's enough fires and stuff and enough buildings to go into that don't be afraid to go in at night early on in the game because, like I said, nobody's got night vision, or very few people would have night vision, and everybody will be going by flashlight. So that makes them stand out enough that you can fight them. Um, but yeah, so accept your task, do the ground zero stuff, take a backpack in to be able to extract with as most as possible. Grab any mags that you find that are decent, like 10 rounders. I wouldn't bother. I would take them only to empty them and then sell them. But I would try to get into a corner, empty them, and then drop them in favor of something better. Um, I take money in so I can use the taxi or the car extract on ground zero. And then once I'm down ground zero, then of course everybody wants to go to Woods and get the letter to unlock Jaeger because he's got the shotguns, the 133 shotguns you need. And if you haven't found them, really, you can eventually find the shotguns. You don't have to buy them, but if you want, because he's got the good shotgun ammo or the only shotgun ammo in most cases, then it does behoove you to get Jaeger unlocked, which means that's a tough one to do because there'll be a lot of people there, so you just have to be very careful. But after that, after I've got Jaeger unlocked, I avoid customs because a lot of the early tasks are on customs. The only benefit of going into customs, besides taking on the players, because you got to remember there's Rashala at the gas station at the dorms you may have to deal with, and you won't have good enough equipment to take them out. But you will get a lot of other players going in there. Um, but the one customs has a good amount of loot. Um, there's a lot of tasks you have to do. One of the things I sometimes depend on is other people to open the doors for me. So there's the customs director office in Big Red that you have to open the door. Well, if you spawn at the other side of the map and have to pass that building on your way to the extract, you'll often find the door open and you can go in and grab the item under the desk without having to worry. The 206 key for Aquarius to get into the big water bottles in the two-story dorm. If you do that and you're careful, you can often find that early on, you can find that door open and you don't need the key. So that's the only benefit of going to customs early on. Of course, if you go to the crack house, it has a lot of medical supplies, so potentially you could get a Salewa there. But I tend to avoid customs early on and go to the other maps because the player count is much lower early on because there's no tasks on those maps until later on. So my favorite map early on is Interchange. I go to Interchange and I do rounds of just collecting stuff. You got to avoid players and the scavs. But if you go into the parking area underground, there's a few weapons cases there that aren't too bad. But there's also lots of other cases with lots of other items. Of course, if you're over at the power station, there's lots of computer parts. There's if you go upstairs, each one of Idea, Goshen, and what's Ollie, all have admin areas with computer parts or computers for computer parts. Oli specifically has all kinds of nuts, bolts, and screws and stuff. So if I can get in there early enough before other people start thinking about it, I immediately head and do my first raiding in interchange. Now, by telling you that, you may run into me, but that's what I do. I've also gone in reserve early on. Same thing. Yeah, there's lots of scavs, so you can get those scav kills, but that also means you might get the shotguns. There's also lots of good looting things in the buildings around the helicopter. So, and early on, you don't get a lot of players. So if you kind of beat the rush or you're moving in the opposite direction of other players, everybody wants to start on customs because that's where all or most of the early tasks are. So the pocket watch in the truck, the 206 room in the two-story dorm, the Zippo lighter on the third floor in the three-story dorm, um, the key to the from the unknown body in the bushes near the USEC extract, um, all kinds of stuff. The customs shed key. So there's all kinds of tasks early on that are all focused around customs, and that's why I avoid customs at the start of the game. I go somewhere else. So, anyways, that's it. Not the greatest video, but this is just what I'm going to be doing on Tuesday once I'm done work and able to play the game. Hopefully that will be some help to you, and good luck in the new software, and don't shoot me if you run into me in interchange. Okay? Thanks.